The film begins with a boy named Simon who lived with his girlfriend Fabian. Cartoonists Simon and Fabian live together to get away from their families because most of them are doctors who do not value their artistic abilities. On the day of his father's 60th birthday celebration, after deciding to bring Fabian along, Simon chooses to introduce her to his family. At the celebration, Simon is greeted by his parents and numerous other family members. Despite the fact that they are all doctors at the party, Simon notices a fascinating woman who captures his attention, but he doesn't realize who she is until later. Simon finds out that the woman is his father's new secretary and that she is involved with him. Simon's dad Carl is a psychiatrist, and his family doesn't mind that he switches girls a lot. Simon's father has a bad reputation for having numerous girlfriends and for turning his patients become his secretaries, who subsequently become his girlfriends. Simon's mother is extremely worried about their marriage and finds it offensive that her husband is seeing other women. After the party, Simon meets his mother, who tells him that his father is planning to go on a trip with Sonia that will undoubtedly end their marriage. Simon's mother is powerless because she works for her husband and can only bear it all. Simon's mother tells him about Carl's new secretary, Sonia, the same woman who earlier caught Simon's attention. Because Simon's mother is worried about her marriage, she asks Simon to take her place at the clinic so she may go with Carl and spend some time with him. If Simon does not, Sonia will go, and their marriage would collapse. Simon decides to replace his mother since he feels sorry for her. Simon stays with Sonia alone at the clinic as Carl takes his wife on the trip. Later, Sonia and Simon sit together and she tells him that if he hadn't come and taken her place as his mother, she would have gone on the trip with Carl and that it would have strengthened their bond. Simon says, maybe she's not aware that his father has many girlfriends, which is normal for him, with little care. After some thought, Sonia tells Simon that their connection is not like that while they are inside the house. She also asks him to keep his ideas to himself and claims that he doesn't know anything about them. Simon decides to leave after learning this because he believes Sonia and his father have a close relationship. Although on a trip with his mother, Simon's father is still in contact with Sonia, as Simon and Sonia were tasked with turning Carl's lectures and interviews into text. One day, Sonia tells Simon that his father is in love with her and has publicly expressed his feelings for her, but that he is also spending time on vacation with his wife. Sonia becomes upset and begins to cry as she is alone and not well established. She discloses her desire to marry him and embark on a journey with his father in order to establish a family. Recalling that Fabian had told him they had a cartoon show in 2 weeks, but they had made no preparations because Simon was preoccupied with family matters, Simon finds himself caught in the intricate web of his family. The next day, Simon goes back to Sonia and apologizes for what transpired between them, but Sonia accepts it since it was nothing out of the ordinary for her. Sonia tells Simon that she has already told him she is seeing a guy after him but hasn't revealed Simon's identity. She did this to ruin his trip, Simon says, pleading with her not to tell his father about it. After Sonia leaves, Simon finds it odd and becomes curious about her because he has to spend time with her. Knowing that Sonia has been his father's patient, he decides to look for her file. Eventually, he finds it and discovers that Sonia was his father's patient and that he treated her for suicidal tendencies. Simon keeps the files. The following day, Sonia finds that her files, which are private between her and Carl, have vanished. She searches for them and eventually locates them from Simon. Taking the files, Sonia quickly heads to a room because, although she has been trying to hide her suicidal thoughts from everyone, Simon is aware of them. As Simon enters the room where Sonia is sobbing, she stops him and kisses him and says they have to go to the basement because someone else can come here. Sonia turns to kiss Simon again, but Simon is unable to resist and gives her a passionate kiss. When Sonia opens the door, her clinic employees greet her and give her instructions. However, once everyone has left, Simon ducks behind the door. As he was supposed to be here to keep Sonia away from his father, Simon does not comprehend Sonia's lead to the underground room, but now he finds himself falling in love with her. Simon can't contain himself and they end up making love after making love as Sonia pulls him into the room and draws him to her. Sonia requests that Simon get inside her vehicle so that she can take him to his home. At a restaurant, Simon spots Fabian with a friend. When Simon approaches her, she tells him that they have a cartoons festival coming up in a few days and that she needs assistance. Because Simon finds it offensive that she is with someone else, Fabian gives him a kiss at lunch and begs him to go out as soon as possible because she needs him. Simon departs, but he begins to question Fabian's reasoning. She and her friend have begun a new relationship. Later, Simon gets a text from Sonia telling him that tomorrow is Saturday and inviting him to her apartment. After a brief conversation, they kiss and end up making love again. After that, Sonia brings him dinner and they talk a lot while eating. Simon finds out the following morning that Sonia has gone to the market to buy a few things. He then comes across a picture of Sonia and his father, and he realizes that his father would have given Sonia his apartment. Suddenly, Carl arrives there after having a great vacation, and he is shocked to see Simon there. Simon then confronts his father about why he is there. Carl tells him he is the apartment's owner and has come to pick up a book. Simon is subsequently informed by Carl that Sonia wants a child, but he is unable to provide one for her due to a vasectomy. In the meantime, Sonia shows up, dismisses Carl for abandoning her, and gives Simon a kiss. Simon has an odd expression on his face as Sonia asks him if he slept well when Carl tries to chat to her. Simon is told by Carl that while he is not involved in their relationship, he can discuss this with his mother. When Simon's mother meets him, she is horrified to hear of his relationship with Sonia. He holds herself responsible for this, but she is powerless to do anything than grieve over dropped milk. Simon's mom approves of this partnership. Then a few days later, Sonia gives birth to Simon's child because Carl was sterile during their relationship. After Sonia gives her baby to Simon, he looks at the child and appears happy for a little while, but then he becomes confused because, although his life was previously settled with Fabian a year ago, he is now entangled in his family's intricate network, and the film ends.
Please subscribe for more movie